Okay, so I would like to welcome Melanie Falvey in our show today, and let's get started.
Great!
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me. Looking forward to this chat.
yeah, I'm very happy that we finally find a way to make this talk happen because we know each other for a long time. Actually, maybe a year or 2 years ago, and we many times were thinking about scheduling a talk, and finally we find this possibility in this very interesting and crazy times we are living. I know you are in Spain right now.
Yes,
Which
that's right.
city?
I'm in Madrid right now.
Yeah, so you are in the
So, like,
capital.
probably the worst city to be in at this time. But yes, it's
Yeah,
life. Yeah.
actually, I think maybe it's the situation is similar in all, not all, but most of the countries in Europe, despite Spain and Italy are hit the worst by this coronavirus crisis. I have
Yes.
a lot of thoughts on my side, but for now I won't talk too much because I have a degree in molecular biology, so I know a bit about these things. And
Right. Yeah, I think it just happens to be that Italy was first and then we've been second. So we're all at different stages. But unfortunately, most of Europe will probably, to some extent, go through it.
I really hope it
Hopefully not
will.
as bad as we have,
Mm,
obviously, but
really
yeah.
hope that it will resolve, but who knows how long it will take. And
Yes,
this totally changed the world of everyone. Mm, Actually,
absolutely.
there
It's
is
like
no
turned
person
it
that's not
completely
affected.
upside down.
Mm, and
Yeah, we thought we had our lives, organized and knowing what we were doing, and this has taught us that we were not prepared.
yeah, exactly. Actually, nobody thought that such chaos and such craziness could happen, but actually, we have to admit that we weren't prepared and to be ready to stay few days or few weeks at home without worrying too much about other things. Of course,
Hmm.
it can affect the business negatively, especially people who are in retail. My girlfriend works in retail and they are closed already 3 weeks,
Yes,
and there are
yes,
so many
that's really
people.
tough.
For and it will affect everyone. Of course, we have a little bit of benefit that we work from home, and for many years, I believe that this is uh, a benefit that we can work from wherever we are. But even if we stay at home, we are still affected because people which we deal with also think about this pandemic. So the entire speech, the entire language is changed all over the world. Also, the algorithms of the social media are catching this media attention. So they are enforcing more and more posts about this topic to show on top of the pages. So right now, if you are talking something else, you are a bit your voice is not heard that well, and we all have to adapt and to find ways to connect with each other once again. And that's exactly why I invited you, because I really would like to hear your opinion, your thoughts, your ideas, how we can handle this situation in a manner that will be positive to everybody, because especially we, the people who work online, we know very well that we can stay connected no matter what are the allowed things, if we are allowed to go outside or not, allowed to go to work or not. We can stay connected because at least for now, internet is not stopped. I heard from a friend of mine that in Italy they had a serious problem with the internet because everyone is trying to use it and some providers are not able to handle. But I hope this is not happening in most of the time. So mm, I'm inviting you to say, what do you think? What do you think? Of course, we the good side is we have plenty of time staying at home to discuss and to talk and also I'm happy that finally we find the time to meet each other online, and this is because we have this possibility right now. So probably there are some good sides of being at home, and maybe there are ways that we can uh, make our business working again and make it better and improved, because I always I was preparing for such a situations for many years. Of course, nobody can prepare very well, but I was expecting that someday somehow something will happen that will disrupt the world connection in one or other way. And when these things happen, businesses, communication channels that are not robust, that are not uh, well done, they will lose their power. So this is a good effect that businesses that are not good, for example, in online space, there are a lot of scammers, a lot of people without good credentials to educate. And I believe this will clear a bit the space. The people who really want to help people will survive and will thrive, and these that have not good intention will not be able to survive. So I think it will be good. Also, after the initial spike of this coronavirus talks dissolve, uh, less people will advertise, and we will be more capable of spreading the word about our coaching and consulting services. So many more people will be able to hear us if we take the right measures. So what do you think about this?
Absolutely. Kolya, I think I agree with everything you've said. Right now, we are seeing many people's brands and companies' true colors, and that is going to act as a filter. We're seeing how they are reacting, how they are helping or not, how they are serving or not, and people won't forget that. So that
Yeah.
is really important. It is going to be a filter. On the other hand, I think there's going to be a lot more people trying to build a business online, which in a way I'm really happy about, because I think it's so beneficial. Every single business should have at least an online presence. Whether they can carry out every single activity and every single process online, that really depends on the type of business. Obviously, a retail business needs to be, I mean, it can move to e-commerce, but people still need that physical content, and they do like the whole in-person experience.
Mm-hmm.
But most companies can benefit actually from this situation, because it's going to make them be aware of the importance of having online systems, of creating an online community or an online customer service, depending on the type of business. So in a way, and I, just because I'm an optimist, I always like to see the good side of things.
Yeah, myself as well.
Exactly. I mean,
I'm
of course,
also always optimistic.
absolutely. I mean, you can always find solutions if you think you're going to find solutions. Whereas if you're always thinking negatively, you're definitely not going to find solutions. And right now, we really need to boost that creativity and look at our businesses or just our jobs in a different way and from all different angles to find new solutions. And that in a way is even fascinating. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
we are aware of the terrible, terrible times we're living in, and we need to be aware of that. But how can we use that to bring some positivity to the whole business world? And not just business world. I think you probably agree with me. Like, this is a time when people are craving connection. We
Yeah,
are so
actually connection with each other. We are talking business, but actually most of us are solopreneurs. So we are people who use our knowledge, expertise to teach others. So this is for everybody. This is not just for the businesses. This is for everyone who wants to grow and to make their living from online businesses. From
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. And even if somebody has a job that's, you know, in danger, or they've given them a temporary unemployment notice or whatever, yes, business is going to thrive again as soon as the world economy is back to normal. But why don't you have a plan B? Why not
Yeah,
start
absolutely. And
side hustle?
I'm
Mhm.
highly encouraging people that this is exactly the right time to start working on your plan B. No better
Yeah,
time. And also, you are not just theoretically preparing for this plan B. Now is the moment you really start to implement this plan B, because
yeah.
I know so many people who are thinking or start doing about doing business from home, and they never make this crucial first step. So now is the time, and probably this
Mhm.
urgency will accelerate very much the transition of many people to I know
Yes.
some very brilliant entrepreneurs who started their business in the last crisis in 2008, 2009, and probably if this crisis didn't happen, they will never take the step. So many new entrepreneurs are going to do the same right now. So from
Yes,
this point of
exactly.
view, I believe there will be some good changes. Of course,
Mhm.
the challenges are big at the moment, because many people have to figure out how to start their business, how to connect their audience, how to fine tune their message, and they have to do this very quickly in order to really be able to get started and to launch their programs.
Yes.
What you can
But it's
say?
totally
Yeah,
doable.
yeah. Of
That's
course, it's totally
yeah.
doable, but it's something that needs at least few steps, and also a belief in yourself that you can do these things. Because for many
Exactly.
people, exactly this is the roadblock. They just are not entirely sure that they can make this initial jump and start working with clients online. So, what can you say to these people who are just starting to search for clients online and not aware exactly how this will happen? What you can give as advice or give as your personal experience to these people for jump
Well, I
starting
think
their.
the most important thing is not to be carried away, but or not to follow everything you see. Because when you're starting out, and I know this was happening to me, we are not at all focused. We are seeing one strategy and we believe that's the real strategy we should be following. Then we see another one, and because we believe everything we hear, it's like, oh no, this is the strategy. And then it's so confusing, it's so overwhelming. We just stay in our tracks and we don't actually take action. So I would suggest just find one source of information and follow
Yeah.
through and follow that strategy until you get results. Also, like, be open to tweaking, be open to assessing that strategy, and be open to being flexible. But just follow the one strategy, because if not, it's just going to be so chaotic. And
Mhm.
precisely in these times, you need to act fast. You need to really be proactive and take action fast. but also you cannot waste time testing and tweaking, and there's no time for A/B testing. I mean,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
literally, but so it's that find a framework, find a strategy with proven results that is simple enough that you don't need to invest a lot to, you know, bring it into reality, and just follow through, and you will get results. If you take action and if you know what you're doing and if you follow a proven system, you will get results.
yeah, exactly. And what is the most strange and counterintuitive thing that I found in my career is that many online coaches, gurus says my strategy is the best. I know how to do it. Nobody knows it. The truth is that there are so many different strategies. Actually, whichever strategy you take, if you follow it very strictly, it will give you results. So it's not a matter of finding the right strategy. It's a matter of following a given system and believing in your ability to help and to deliver value to people. So it's not like a magic bullet. It's not like a secret to know. It's just starting and doing. And actually, the most difficult step is before finding your first client. Then you start to get positive feedback just from these people's feedback, and the second, the third, and so on are much easier to work with. And yeah, so there is nothing complicated. Actually,
Exactly.
there are some tech stuffs, but they are so simple and easy that even 9-year-old person can connect the dots. How, for
Yes.
example, to capture email leads, how to follow up with people, how to set up appointments. I don't know what kind of appointment system are you using, but currently Curity scheduling, there are a lot of them, and all of them are working fine. So
Yeah, that's right. And most of the tools are free for some features, and you can
yeah.
definitely start for free, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can upgrade. Don't think you need like top of the range software when you're starting out. I think that's also another mistake we've probably all made. Like,
Yeah.
you think you need that top tier in that extremely expensive software when you really don't at the beginning. It's just,
Yeah.
it's more important to start, to take action, to take a step a day and keep going, more than thinking about all the tech and the setup. I mean, we all have a phone. Well, not everybody, but most people have a phone
Yeah.
or even a computer. That's basically all you need. That and an internet connection can get you started.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So the message should be, it's not difficult. You just have to plug in and connect with other people and
Yes.
make real connections. And one of the best way is really to get these people into conversations, because
Exactly.
this is the best way that you can interact and to know exactly what the needs of these peoples are. All other channels, Facebook group, Messenger, emails, they are just something that helps to connect with these people, but the ultimate goal will be to get your potential clients on a call and try to help them, even for free. Actually, I believe, and I will ask you to know your opinion, but I believe that in these critical times, it is good to offer some of your services for free for specific people, and this will, on the one hand, bring you more new people into your circle. On the other hand, you will help people who are in need at the moment and don't have the resources and the funds. So this is something that I believe is a good strategy, and also good for everyone and beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would never judge anyone trying to do business different ways. I think
Yeah.
we all have different strategies, different goals. But from my own experience, I mean, I think now is a time to serve, to, maybe if you like to plant the seeds and then you will reap the results. It also depends on your business. What stage are you in? If you're more of an established business, maybe you're able to keep selling, and or you have recurring clients you still need to serve. But if you're starting out, I would definitely say just start by creating that community, reaching out to people, connecting to people. Business is all about real relationships.
Yeah.
Business is not about numbers and just getting people onto an email list. It's about knowing those people, knowing what they need, and knowing how what you have can help them. And that's how, from my perspective, business can really thrive. When you're basing it only in numbers with empty connections, then it's just going to crumble when hard times come.
For example, I have some friends that told me, oh, we have a huge email list. And I'm saying, when was the last time you emailed this list? Do you know that these people are still in tune with yourself? If you, for example, didn't connect with them for 6 months, maybe you don't have these people there.
Exactly.
There are still numbers on your list, but they are not all. So we have to keep in touch with the people who we believe. And also, of course, there is this prolonged effect, because somebody who is entering in your circle may become a client much later on. But you have to stay in touch, to check with him, to ask him if they need something. So this connection should be continuously evolving. And maybe this was one of my biggest mistake initially, because I started by just searching to find more and more people, and not to connect on a deeper level with those that really need my services. And later I realized that it was a mistake. So this is something that people can avoid. Better to have 10 people that are really interested at what you do, compared to 1,000 people who barely know your face. And in this respect,
Exactly, and who are not interested in what you do.
Yeah.
So I get that question a lot. They say, like, do you need a big audience to start selling? No, you just need the right audience.
Exactly.
You can have as little as 5 people following your content and you can make sales. It's not about the number of people. And I think that's also going to change. We've already seen that with influencer marketing. Like, micro influencers are becoming really like more important than the massive following influencers had, because in the end those were just empty numbers. Whereas when you have a smaller community and you get to know everybody, there's a bigger chance of them being the right people for your product or service. So yeah, don't worry about creating this massive Facebook page with thousands and thousands of followers. If they're not the right people, you don't want them on there. You just need the right people.
I believe this was one of the huge crazy things last couple of years, because everybody was chasing the big numbers. Big numbers on Instagram followers, big numbers on Facebook groups, on page followers. But actually it's not about the big numbers, but about the level of relationship you have with these people. And this is something that I have to admit you are doing extremely well, because you are managing a small community, but with very highly engaged people, and you're engaging with them weekly, even daily. And actually you are using the best possible, not the best possible channel, but the best possible strategy to connect the people inside these channels. For example, Facebook groups can be just numbers, and on the other hand, they can really be engaging community. So I would like to ask you about your specialty, about videos, video marketing. How do you think that video can really help boosting this connection? Actually, there are two sides. Of course, we already talked about personal connection and talking, but video, even if it's not live, it is still very powerful. So what you can say to people about video marketing and how they can use the best possible way video?
Okay, yes. So the great thing about this time is that although we are on lockdown in many parts of the world, we're isolated, we are not really. Because if we have a screen, if we have an internet connection, if we have a camera, we can connect almost the same as in person. Video allows for that connection. It allows for that emotional connection, which is so important nowadays. And it allows for that communication in business, which leads to good marketing. I think that the power of video is that it helps you connect on all layers. Like when you write a post, sometimes people don't really get the style or the humor, if it's humorous. It's very hard to connect to people when you're only writing. It takes many, many posts. It takes a long time. Whereas video, just in one video, you can connect to your ideal client because people immediately know whether they like you or not, like whether they resonate with your personality or whether they cannot stand you. So it's a filter. So anyone following more than one of your videos, it means that they've connected at some level. Maybe they're interested in your message. Maybe they're not ready to buy, but they're thinking, oh, I might buy in the future. Maybe they just like your personality and that's why they follow. Maybe they resonate because you are a Star Wars fan and they are too. So it's just so powerful. And when it comes to marketing, video is the most powerful tool there is because it's a shortcut to any marketing effort. So you can really attract the right people, connect to them, build trust and credibility. And before you sell to anyone, you need to build that trust and credibility. People need to believe that you can help them. They need to see you as the expert. So it's a very fast process on video if you're doing it right. Now, on the other hand, I will also say that if you're just posting video content, just like with no strategy, with no goal or no outcomes for every video, then you're wasting your time, especially now that there's going to be such an increase in people using video. We've already noticed, like trying to live stream, the last couple of weeks has been really, really hard because of all the gamers using the platforms, because of people live streaming who were not live streaming before. So you also need to be aware that you need to put out the right videos and they need to look professional and you need to know what you're doing. But again, it's not hard. It's just about knowing what to do. Anyone can do it and anyone can become good on video. We're all terrible when we start. I mean, and then you get better with practice.
I can say from my experience that my probably first 10, 20 videos were really terrible.
Mine. And the funny thing is, I leave my old videos up there. And once I had a client who said, wow, you've evolved so much in your videos. Why don't you just take down all those old videos that were really, really bad? I mean, everything was bad about those videos. Everything, the quality, everything, it was terrible. And I'm like, no, because I want to inspire people to show them that you can go from that terrible video to a better video. So, you know, I'm not ashamed of, I mean, I could be embarrassed about those videos, but it's my journey. So it's okay. We all go through a journey.
It's everyone's journey, and this is a good example that everyone can start. Many people are shy; they don't believe in their capability of doing videos. But once you do the first one, second one is easier, and so on. So maybe in 30 or 40 videos, you will become close to expert level if you take notice and improve every single time. So it's really not hard, and it's fascinating how deep connections can be done on video very quickly. And this is why I believe the only form of advertising that is really powerful is video advertising, because with few seconds of right message, you can connect on emotional level with people, and then these people can continue watching and educating and learning your stuff. And video can be done in many different manners, in many different channels. Of course, each channel has its own unique properties, but once you learn how to do videos, you can do videos on any channel. And starting is always the easiest way. Actually, it only looks difficult. It's not difficult. Of course, you can upgrade, you can purchase better cameras, better microphones, equipment for outdoor, indoor recording, but initially you don't need more than your phone.
Yes.
Actually,
Exactly. Yeah. Don't wait to have all the high-tech equipment, because that's just an excuse. You can start with a phone and that's it. You know, you can start definitely. And your
to
first
me,
video
it's
is
not
never going to be perfect.
actually the same as the better equipment. It's just a little bit worse quality. Actually, nothing else. The most important part is you, and if you are recording, it doesn't matter what kind of equipment you have. And
Yeah, well, the thing is, exactly, that's what you need. And at the beginning, I mean, at the beginning, and you know, some people don't even upgrade until they've been doing videos for years. It's sometimes more about optimizing what you have so that it looks better quality than actually. Some people go into this huge expense and they get this hugely expensive equipment, but if you don't know how to use it properly, it's a waste of money. So
yeah.
it's not about that.
So,
True.
what are the first steps you are teaching your clients to do if they are just starting to make their video production? Is it something
Right. So
about
there's
Is it something about
so
their message or something about the video itself?
that's a good question because it's not just the one thing.
Yeah,
So the I don't want to call it the perfect video, but let's just
yeah.
use that term. Nothing is perfect, but just let's say a video that's going to convert, a video that's going to help you turn your videos into clients does need to have a few elements in place. Because if not, it's going to take a long time if you're not using all the power of visual communication, verbal communication, non-verbal communication. So you need to have, it's like a puzzle. When you put every piece in place, you have the full picture. And with video, it's not about the complexity because it's not at all difficult. It's about knowing those elements. And those elements are basically, obviously, your message. I mean, you need to learn how to communicate your message the best way possible. And that comes through many types of techniques, but also practice helps. If you're just starting out, just figure out who you're helping and always make it a point to make it about your audience. I see this mistake a lot, that people start doing videos and it's all about them. And people are not interested in us.
Yeah.
People are interested in how we're going to help them. So the star of any video is your audience. And that's the first, I think that's probably the first or second mental switch you need to make when you start doing videos. It's not about you, it's about your audience.
I think this is one of the most often mistake of YouTubers. They start their channels about themselves, about what they eat, what their day-to-day is, but many people do the same, and nobody is.
I mean, obviously, if you're a celebrity or if you're an influencer, people are interested in your life.
Yeah.
But let's face it, for the most part, you know, if we're entrepreneurs, business owners trying to sell a service or a product, people are not interested in us. I mean, they might be curious, but they're not in. The whole content cannot.
Maybe the best way is the mix of helping people and mixing with your own life, because they want to see that you are a normal person like them, but at the same
Yes.
time they are interested in solving their problems, and you have to find the right message to help them, and not just to talk about yourself. So yeah, this is
Exactly, and that's why
very
a
good
video
advice.
strategy touches on all those topics, because you need to make that connection. You need to attract the right people. You need to connect to them emotionally. They need to trust you. They need to, there's lots of different touch points there. And yes, of course, people are curious to see what your life looks like up to a point, because they are aspiring to
Yeah.
that kind of lifestyle or those results. So you need to be able to show that in your videos, but not only that, you need to do
Yeah.
many different types
So
of
probably a
content.
good mix of the both.
A good mix, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
also it is very interesting that the highly successful online entrepreneurs are these that fine tune their message and find a way to connect emotionally. Probably the information they are giving is not different than anyone else. The actual services they are giving are not different, but they find a unique way to connect with people and unique way to make this interaction. So maybe this is the crucial element that we all have to learn in order to have advantage in this crowded world of
Absolutely,
online
and that's why
entrepreneurs.
there's enough clients for everybody, because some people are going to resonate with you and your personality, and others are not.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
plenty of people out there. Yes.
exactly. And
I mean, look at how many health coaches there are, and
yeah,
they all work to some extent. So it's just
yeah,
because in the end, it's a question of who do I, really resonate with, or
Yeah, and this is also a
yeah.
huge mistake, because some people say there are so many other coaches. Why we should start if there are other people? But there are clients for everyone. You just have to resonate with the people that you want to work with, and this resonance is unique. Maybe it cannot be done twice the same way. So
Exactly,
everyone
we're
should
all
find,
different, and that's our advantage. Yeah.
yeah, everyone should find their own unique way, and this can be improved only by practicing their own personality, because we all have different personalities which cannot be exchanged. And
Yes.
this
Yes.
is the crucial moment, and this is why
Yeah.
everyone can succeed, because everyone has unfair advantage that maybe he or she doesn't know that they have this advantage, but when they start uh, communicating by videos, by live calls, they will see and find their strengths and find exactly what kind of person they resonate. And maybe
Yes.
not from the first one, but when you have few people that resonate very specific manner, then you will know exactly what type of persons to continue searching, because
Yes.
we all know we all have tons of connections, but only few of these connections are really potentially strong and capable of improving to something more meaningful. So this is
That's
also
very
important
true.
point. And also I would like to ask you, what do you think about the other element of video production, which I'm not using yet a lot, but I see many people find a lot of success by adding a music to their videos. Sometimes the music make this resonance a little bit better, a little bit fine-tuned. So I think people who are using this strategy are benefiting a lot.
Yeah. Well, music is powerful. We know that.
Yeah.
So it really depends. I would say, like, do you want to invest the time? Do you have the time, the knowledge, the technology to use music? Do it. because it's really powerful. It can really help you connect. It can really set the tone of your videos, and people definitely resonate with music. But if you're starting out, I would say wait a bit, because it's like another element you have to think about. And it's enough having to get your camera right, get the connection right, go live if you're doing live videos or recording, whatever. If you're adding music and then it can get a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, so it's
But
a
absolutely,
bit of
if you
next
come to
level.
a video, go for that.
Yeah, it's not necessary, but if you believe that you are already prepared for the next level, it's really can
Yes.
help you boost, especially for
Yes.
short videos.
Yes.
Because in short videos, this really can help a lot. Although I know some YouTubers that add the background music to their many hours of videos, and this background music is staying on behind, and sometimes it's really good if it's properly
Yes.
selected. Let's say.
Absolutely, it's very powerful. If it's well done, it's really powerful. Yeah. Yes. Just be careful with copyright and royalties and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. But there are a lot of places where you can find copyright-free music. YouTube also
Yes.
is delivering such things. So, what can you say about the technical side of the things? Do you have some recommendations about software for video editing, about live streaming? There are so many software changing every single day.
There's
For
lots,
me
and new
personally,
coming
it was
out every
really
single day.
challenging. It was really challenging to find the right combination of solutions.
Yes. Again, here you can go two ways. If you have the time and the energy, you can test it yourself. But that could be expensive if you're testing all sorts of different stuff. And you might just want to follow somebody's recommendations. I would say, as a general rule, keep it as simple as you can with what you want to do. I mean, if you're going to be using YouTube, if you're going to be focusing on YouTube, definitely you need to learn some editing, because it's a different type of video and you need to, but don't go into something super expensive, super complex. There's lots of editing software. There's even free editing software. And then there's like really low range software that allows
there
you
are
to.
softwares for basic stuff that are free also, some that are not very expensive, not necessarily needed to use Adobe Premiere or some other expensive software.
Which has a learning curve to it, not just the price. No, it's more about keep it simple and upgrade your skills as you upgrade your video confidence also. Don't waste hours and hours and hours at the beginning before you've even made a video. Like, first of all, start doing your videos and then you can upgrade. Because also, if you start building a following, people are always like, they really enjoy to follow your journey. They're like, oh, I was right at the first video and now look at you, all those edits and the intro and the outro. So just keep it simple. You don't have to spend a ton. As you say, there's even really good free editing software. And just, I mean, don't overcomplicate things.
I'm also following this this thing, and I'm trying to not overcomplicate. And every time I record a video, I'm doing it a rocket. So actually, if it doesn't need, I did no editing, because I know that later on I will improve my skills in editing. But now it's more important than anything else to bring my message to the platforms and to the people, and it's not necessary to spend a week editing a video when I can
hopefully who has the time for
upload.
that.
Because there are crazy people who are improving videos, but
I know. I mean, if you have the time and if it's more of a hobby, or if you have a team who can do it,
Mhm.
It all depends on your priorities. I mean, but don't spend, I always think it's I mean, sometimes it's inevitable, but if the editing is going to take you 3 times longer than the video itself,
Sometimes
is it
much
really worth
much longer.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, keep it simple.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, this is the best tip. Keep it simple, and make this
Yeah.
video to the world, and share your message, and then
Yes.
you will find the feedback you need, and you can improve, tweak. But this is the next step. The first step is to stay in front of these people, and
Yes.
really make the initial connection, because this is probably the hardest part, to really believe in yourself that you can make this connection. And
Yes.
I really think that we are fortunate that we uh, have connected over the internet, and we know the power of this type of connection. And even if these difficult times, we can continue connect with each other, and actually do really very cool stuff online. For example, a lot of in-person conferences are canceled right now, but I believe a lot of them can be rescheduled as virtual summits. For example, I know
Absolutely.
a person from India. They did very hard marketing for their in-person conference. They sold probably 1,000 of tickets. Now they can't do this conference in real, but they managed to very quickly adapt and convert this entire event into a virtual summit, and be able to transition. So we can find creative ways to connect with each other, and this is something that I have in mind for a long time. Maybe it will materialize sooner, because creating a virtual summit, it's not that difficult. You just
Mm.
have to make the arrangement with a couple of experts in different areas. Do you have some
Yes. And
experience
it's
with?
the way to go. You
Yeah,
need anything that was happening in person can be transitioned online. And it's not even that hard. So
especially, yeah,
absolutely.
especially in coaching and consulting, you
Yes.
need personal experience with your teacher, and this can be done online 100%. It's something that
Yes.
is possible. And
Yes.
I see right now many schools, universities are forcefully going into these directions to teach their students online. And because they weren't prepared, it's a little bit hard at the beginning, especially here in my country. But small children are learning their lessons from their laptops. So it's capable
Absolutely. Yeah.
for everybody. It's possible for everyone,
Yes.
and more and more people will become familiar with this style of learning from the comfort of their homes.
Yes.
So when we started talking about virtual summit, do you have some experience? What can you say about this type of events? Do you think
Yeah,
they are
actually,
good?
hosted. We have hosted a virtual summit, like because I also run a platform, Expert Channel TV, and we use social media platforms to broadcast different types of shows. So there's solo shows, there's talk shows, there's round tables, interviews. And a few months back, because I wanted to test the software and see where it was going, we did host a virtual summit, and the tech behind it is not at all complex.
Mhm.
Again, if you have an internet connection and cameras and the right people to deliver the content, you can definitely do it. And I'm even seeing a real, like, huge increase in virtual summits. So
Mhm.
that's the logical transition. Any event that has been cancelled can be held online. There's absolutely no problem. I
Mhm.
mean, to me as an introvert, it's even better. Like, I can be home with a cup of coffee and just, I don't have to drive into the city
Actually,
and
I don't have any problems with the real events. I can stand in front of audience, but actually, it's the same. if you have
Yeah,
a lot of people watching you in person or online.
it's the
What
same.
kind of softwares are you using? Do you think Zoom can be used for virtual summits?
Absolutely, that's what I would. That I mean, there's many types of software, and you can again test, tweak, and see what you prefer. Because when it comes to the technology and the interface,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, of
really
course,
very,
many options there are.
very similar. Yeah. So, but Zoom is a great platform for conferencing, video conferencing, summits, any type of video communication. Zoom is definitely, it's easy to use. You have a free option. It's more limited, obviously, but it's
Mhm.
okay for many things. So again, don't let that stop you. You can just create an account on Zoom and start using it. And I'm seeing like lots of new software now because of this situation we're living in. I'm seeing like every day I get emails with new, software.
Yeah, I'm also
And I'm
bombarded by offers, but I have to be very careful because not all of these offers are up to their promises and their claims. Of course, there are
yes,
few gems that are really good, but just keep it simple and use the most
yes,
popular. We are not
yes.
affiliated with Zoom in any means, but
Oh no, no, we're not. Maybe we should because we use it every day, but we're
this
not.
is
We're
the
not. No,
uh,
it's a robust type
for
of platform.
starters. I believe this is the
Going
best.
on for a long time.
And
Yeah.
also they are giving in their free accounts what it was some some features that were on premium version they give at the moment.
Oh,
Same
right.
for Calendly, they add
Yeah,
Zoom integration for free. So a lot
yeah.
of options are available. So if you are doing webinars, I believe Webinar Jam has 2 months free trial. Many
Yes.
possible the news. Of course, I'm trying to build some kind of my own infrastructure for my students, so I have a platform where I can upload my courses and uh, create accounts for my students to create their programs. But it's not necessary.
Mm.
There are a lot of options, and you just have to stick with what works and not go to the hard tier and the most expensive. So I'm not a big fan
Exactly.
of ClickFunnels. I will not advertise. I know a bunch of people are offering this their challenge, but it's not necessarily because actually same functionality. There are many others platforms with half of the price, even cheaper.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the,
Yes.
the,
Hmm.
our message should be the technology is not the roadblock to anyone starting their coaching and consulting online.
Not anymore. It
Yeah,
shouldn't be. No, I think people hide behind that as an excuse, like, oh, I don't have
yeah,
this, so I can't do that. No, there's always a solution. Even if you can even just open up a Facebook group and do your summit there. If you
yeah,
don't want to use any
absolutely.
other type of technology, I mean, there's always a way. Technology doesn't have to be that complex.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think really the Facebook groups are the best starting point. Also, my business started with my coaching and consulting business growth community. So this is a good point where you can connect, meet with like-minded people, and from there enrich and grow the connection with these people. Of course, it's not the only place where you can meet these people, but this is a perfect starting point. And I think you will also give the same advice. If you are not aware of your capability of doing online calls, just find some friends that have free time to talk with you and to practice with you. Maybe this is some of the best thing, role modeling sales calls, role modeling coaching sessions. So this is absolutely
Absolutely.
best way.
That's great advice. Absolutely. You learn by practicing. So find yourself that accountability partner and just help each other grow. You're both going to learn. Find somebody who's honest enough to tell you the truth and be objective and not say, oh yeah, that was great, and then it's not.
Yeah.
But yes, exactly. There's, if you want to start, there's always a way.
Yes. So these are really, really very precious advices, and I believe that we as people who are already few years in this digital space has the privilege to be able to make the next steps and attract more people and guide them in this respect, because there is no doubt next couple of months hundreds if not millions of people who never before thought about digital business will enter, and they will need this guidance. So maybe we will find a way to help them better. Maybe we will organize new virtual summits. Maybe we will finally start new course programs. My program is in beta mode for many, many months. Maybe finally I will be able to make real ones soon. In your business, are you working mostly one-on-one with people, or you have plans for group coaching for something that will be more one-to-many ways? For me, this is
Yeah, the
the
truth is,
ultimate
I
goal.
believe in having different price points. Because, you know, I know what it is to start out and maybe not have the funds, or maybe not because you're starting out, but you just don't have the funds to invest in a one-on-one. Maybe you're not even going to benefit as much from a one-on-one, depending on what your goal is or where your the stage you're at. So I have programs, classes, resources from like as little as $7, not even $5, I think is my like the lowest price point, and then the one-on-one coaching done for you services, which are in the thousands. But yeah, I believe in group coaching, I believe in one-on-one coaching. I think it's not a question of me wanting to do one-on-one or group. I think I have to give people what they need, and some people thrive in a group environment because they really like the support, the accountability, and other people thrive in a one-on-one environment. So always, I
Exactly.
really
Actually,
believe in
it's
giving people their something that matches their goals, the specific goals at a certain point in time, something that, you know, is within their budget, obviously, and something that's going to work with their learning style also.
yeah. So maybe the best way is to be able to help everyone. Doesn't matter if what their preferred way of learning is. So you can have entry-level courses, group coaching, and all the levels. So maybe this is the best, but I highly recommend people who are just starting to start with one-on-one clients, because this way they will find the best way that they will teach their expertise, even if they so this
That's
is the
true.
best.
To get the right feedback, to get confident in your expertise, definitely one-on-one gives you give a lot, obviously, because you're helping the other person, but you also get a lot back, because that feedback and that confidence you get, especially when you're starting out, is very, very valuable. Yes, I agree.
Okay, so Melanie, I think we did some awesome talk and discussed so many different elements of this thing, and I really hope this will be helpful for people who are just starting, and I hope we will make such kind of conversation a tradition to brainstorm and to be able to improve our capacity to help people, because we really need to improve our capacity. Many people will really need our services, and especially the fields you are in. Video marketing is something that will be of crucial importance for everyone. So this is something that has immense value to people, and I'm really excited that we did this conversation today, and maybe we will have more in the future.
Absolutely. I would love that. Thank you so much for having me. This has been great. And as you say, we really hope this has been useful for everybody.
Yeah, we have to spread the word and help people to find the fastest possible way to accelerate their online business, because now is the time that many people will really make this move, start to working online, and they have to find the most quickest path from being a newbie to being really somebody who can help people and who can thrive in this environment. Thank you very much, Melanie, and I would really love to talk again with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye bye.